Okay, we're going to create a new project in Market Samurai for this next keyword research demo, and this is going to be on credit repair, which is one of the topics that I identified in my brainstorming and qualifying worksheets. And I'm making sure, since this would be an entirely United States-based product, because the credit repair system in the United States is the one that I'm familiar with, then I'm making sure that I selected United States in the geographical drop-down menu. And now I'm just going to generate keywords based on the seed keyword of credit dispute. And I chose credit dispute because that's a key phrase closely related to people wanting to repair their credit who have some general education on how to do so, but they're looking for more information about how exactly to conduct the disputes and things like that. So I'm looking here in the keywords that I got back from Google, and actually these all look fairly closely related. We're getting into some that aren't as much down here. We'll head on over into Analyze. I'm going to sort by SEO traffic, and then I'm going to delete the ones up here, the main top level ones like credit report. That doesn't mean that somebody wants to repair it. So I'm just going to go through and delete the ones that are entirely too top level or unrelated. Now I'm going to get my SEO competition, and what I've done actually up here is opened up some new tabs based on some of the top level keywords that I found in the credit dispute results. And so now I'm just going to see which ones have competing results in Google of 100,000 or less. Now, since I didn't filter down on SEO traffic, I did that because this is an incredibly competitive market, and I wanted to see of the keywords that are below 100 searches a day for SEO traffic, if any of those were keywords that I could actually compete on. It turns out that none of the keywords that got over 100 a day in SEO traffic are keywords that match our SEO competition filter of 100,000 or less. So again, that's because this is a very competitive market, and the data that we've got here is pretty ugly in terms of the traffic. But the interesting thing is that, since this is a market that's highly competitive and also very, very lucrative, it may be worthwhile to have sites that rank for some of these less traffic terms like credit dispute letters, which would bring you, it says 60 hits a day if you were #1 in Google. Because if I could get 60 people to a site a day, and let's say I could get half of those to convert into a squeeze page, I'd have 30 new leads a day in a very, very, very lucrative market. And that might not be such a bad thing, even though in this particular market, I'm looking at lower traffic numbers. It might pay off in the end to look at those keywords with lower traffic numbers. So I'm going to leave this up and head on over to some of these other tabs and see if we can generate any other keywords that are new and different and that actually have more traffic and can be ranked for before we start looking at those keywords that are lower in traffic but may be able to rank for it. Because I'd rather get something with higher traffic, but if I can't in this particular market, I would consider something with lower traffic because there is stuff that can be sold to these people. It should also be noted that in these keywords, I noticed that a lot of keywords are related to people looking for information on credit cards for bad credit. So that would be a niche that I might consider looking into as well, as opposed to just the credit repair market, but also a site that had affiliate links and things like that to credit cards that were kinder to people with bad credit and more likely to approve them. Or an information product even on credit cards that people could get even though they had more poor credit. A lot of these keywords were also people looking for a free credit report, so that might be something to look into as well if I wanted to go that route. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to stick to credit repair information. So now we're going to filter down our remaining 34 keywords by SEO competition. In our SEO competition results, we've got dispute credit report comes in with an SEO competition of 93,000. Unfortunately, its PBR is kind of low. And freeze credit report, that's a method that people can use to try to improve their credit, but the PBR is kind of low on that as well. How to improve your credit scores has an 81% PBR. That's excellent. Its competition is 67,000, but the SEO traffic is only 49 a day. So again, we're looking at keywords that we may potentially be able to compete for, but we're also looking at lower traffic than we normally would in other niches. So let's head on over to the Fixed Credit tab and run some keyword research and generate some keywords there. And what I'm going to do here, instead of filtering by SEO traffic or instead of putting a number in the SEO competition box, I actually want to see what the numbers are here. So I'm actually just going to check the SEO competition box and then click Analyze Keywords. And the problem with this is that running 142 active keywords through the SEO competition and generating that data from Google might cause me to be banned from Google, which will mean that I can't run a Google search for an hour or so. But we're going to give it a shot because I'd like to get this data entirely. Instead of having it just delete the keywords that are above 100,000, I'd like to see what kind of competition we are looking at. Okay, our results, we're seeing SEO competition of 400,000, 500,000, 300,000. So that's way beyond the 100,000 that I like to look at. I was hoping maybe I'd see something with, 101,000. So it's just barely over the limit. We've got Fix My Credit. Now this is interesting. Fix My Credit has a PBR of 100%. So that means that, 100% of the time Google estimates that when people enter in those particular words in Google, those are the exact words in the exact order that they are entering them. So that would be one heck of a key phrase to go after, in that you would be certain that the traffic that you're getting is actually very much related to what the keywords that you put in are. Some of these other ones with lower competition, how to fix credit, that has a PBR of 24%, lower than I like to see, but that could still be an interesting keyword. 82% for fast credit repair, and a SEO competition of 87,000. So at this point, that keyword is actually still meeting all of our criteria. Fast credit repair. And anything else really interesting coming in here? Repair My Credit at 166,000 competing results. Fixing Credit, 131,000. All right, I'm going to run title competition. I'm really curious to see what the title competition is for Fix My Credit. So again, I'm going to do it without actually putting in parameters in the box. I just want to get all the data. Fix My Credit comes in with a title competition of 7,390. So that's within our parameters, even though the actual SEO competition isn't. So what I'm going to do is open up a separate tab for the key phrase Fix My Credit and see if we can generate a grid here and check out what colors it is. Look at the domain age on all of these. We've got really old domains, and we've got PRs, our lowest being a PR of 2. Backlinks to the page isn't that high on all of these. Backlinks to the domain is pretty high on most of them. Most of the pages aren't optimized on page over here. So this is still pretty tough to enter. Let's head on back over to Fix Credit, the tab, and see if there was anything else here that I wanted to look into further. Okay, fast credit repair. That was an interesting one. That had 87,000 in SEO competition. It has 22,000 in title competition. That's kind of ugly. Let's see what the SEO competition is. We've got pretty big backlinks to the domain again, although not as high with that other keyword. Backlinks to the pages are median. Some are very, very low and some are fairly high. The PR on all these sites is 1, 2, 3, or 4. The domain age, we've got some really older domains in there, although the number 2 spot, the domain age is only a year. The thing about this is that most of these domains are companies that sell credit repair services. If you look at their domain names, it's Beacon Credit Repair, The Credit Pros International, InfiniteCredit.com, ErasingBadCredit.com. So what you're competing with here is a bunch of companies who are selling a service. So if you're not selling a service, this might not be the right keyword for you, because that seems to be what this particular keyword is targeted towards. So I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to close my Fix Credit tab, as I'm not particularly thrilled with any of these results for the criteria that we are looking for. And actually, Fix My Credit Report. I didn't see that one before. Oh, that's because it only has 39 searches a day. Okay, we'll go on over to the Improve Credit tab, and again, we'll generate keywords and go from there. What I'm doing also, because a lot of these keep giving me the same keywords in terms of being credit repair, dispute, individual keywords, I've changed my phrase length to a minimum of 2. I only want keywords that have 2 or more words in the key phrase. So I've generated my SEO competition and title competition for all of the remaining key phrases in the Improve Credit tab, and I'm looking to see if there's anything that fits the criteria or is somewhat close to it that might be able to be something that we can work with. And much like Fix My Credit, there's the Improve My Credit key phrase, which has 242,000 competing results in Google, but only 5,160 competing results for title competition. So I might look into that key phrase further because, again, that's got 100% PBR, which is always nice to see. And even less competitive is the key phrase improve my credit score, which also has a PBR of 100%. It's got competition of 135,000 and the title is only 2,930. So I'm going to run an SEO competition on both of those key phrases. So we'll start with Improve My Credit, which was the more competitive of the two, and we'll see what we've got for our SEO competition grid. These results are interesting because the backlinks to the domain are all very high, but the backlinks to the page are all very, very low. We have some older domains. We have some 2-year-old domains. We've got some PRs ranging from 0 all the way up to 6. Now, take a look at the very first ranking domain. It's ezinearticles.com. So it's an article about how to improve my credit. And is it possible that you could put up a article on Easy in Articles and build more than 4 links to it, because there are 4 links to this domain or to this page on Easy in Articles, and possibly steal that spot away? It's quite possible. So you need to look also at the domains, because if you're looking at Squidoo pages, Easy in Articles pages, pages where you can also put up your own content, it is quite possible that you could get a ranking for this on that domain. Not necessarily on your own domain that easily, but if you put up an Easy in Articles and went to go compete directly with the #1 result, that #1 result could be usurped by yours if you did some link building to that Easy in Articles page. Of course, that Easy in Articles would then link back to your site, and hopefully your own site would gain some link authority over time as well. So I'm going to leave that up because that's interesting just because of the Easy in Articles angle. And I'm going to head on over to the other keyword. This one got less traffic a day. I think that this one was at 71 or something like that. But it had less title competition. So we're going to see if the grid shows us that as well. We're looking at high backlinks to the domain again. We're looking at medium to low backlinks to the page. PRs are very similar to the other keyword that we just looked at, and the domain ages are variable as well, but I don't see any 0s or 1s. Everything's 2 and higher. So this looks just about as competitive as Improve My Credit, except for the domain in the title, or excuse me, the keyword in the title issue. This had less overall. This also has a lot less. Oh no, that's incorrect. A lot of these sites are listed in the Yahoo directory for both keywords. So if you are very serious about this particular keyword in this particular niche, it could be worthwhile to pay for inclusion within the Yahoo directory, which I believe is like $299. So we're going to head on over to Credit Report Repair and generate some more keywords, see if anything interesting comes up. And in here we've pulled up our SEO competition and our title competition without a filter, just to see what we've got here. And a lot of the same keywords are coming up in terms of Fix My Credit, Repair Credit Score. Oh no, the title competition is 24,000. That's way too high. How to Fix Credit has 48,000 competing results in Google. That's not that bad. Now, Increase Credit Score, while it has a lower PBR than I like to see, does have competition numbers within our parameters. So I'd like to take a look at the competition for that, the SEO competition grid, and see what we come up with there. Like we've seen in a lot of these very, very high backlinks to the domain, here's another Easy in Articles article that's coming up in position 3, and it has 14 links pointing to its individual page. We've got some PR zeros, we've got some very old domains, and then some domains that are 2 and 3 years old. For the traffic that this particular keyword had, it was starting to get into 100 a day. Not so interesting. Although what is interesting is that you could possibly throw up an Easy in Articles article and run a couple links to it and usurp that number 3 position. So this is something to consider from that angle. And to go on back, we were at improve credit, and there wasn't a whole lot else here that I saw fitting in with our parameters, and also having a PBR that was something that we could actually work with. So we'll close that out and then go straight over to credit report repair. And I'm going to generate my keywords, or no, we already did that. I'm at credit dispute letter is where I should be, and I'll generate my keywords, eliminate those ones that are not related to credit dispute repair, and then I will run my competition. So we've got some results here. Dispute letters has 64,000 competing results in Google, 2,480 in SEO title competition. So that's something to consider. I'd have to look it up on Google and see if dispute letters is a keyword where people are only searching for credit report dispute letters as opposed to some other kind of dispute letter. So it's one of those ambiguous keywords that could go another way that you wouldn't want it to go. Credit dispute letter itself comes in with an SEO competition of 47,000 and SEO traffic of 2,180, but the PBR is 36%. If you look down here, we've also got credit repair letter coming in with the competition and title competition that we like to see, credit repair letters, credit dispute letters. So these could all be different variations on the way that people phrase that particular search result. And fortunately, all of these are coming in within our Google competition that we're looking for. Again, though, we are also looking at keywords that are below our threshold of 100 searches per day for SEO traffic. So again, it's looking at whether this market is still lucrative enough for you to enter, despite the fact that you won't necessarily be getting those 100 searches a day or 100 hits a day if you were number 1 on Google. For this, I'd like to take a look at the SEO competition for dispute letters, and then also for the main keyword there, which was, I think, credit dispute letter. So let's take a look and see what we've got. It's a tough niche. We've got backlinks to the domain very, very high again. The top 2 results have very high backlinks to the pages, but the rest of the results, the backlinks to the page aren't that high. We've got some PR0 showing up, and our domain ages are all over 2 years or older. A lot of these sites aren't optimized on page, so that's an area where you could possibly find yourself with an advantage as well. And then let's look at credit dispute letter, the SEO competition, and see if that's any different. These are a lot of the same sites ranking for dispute letters are also ranking for credit dispute letter, which makes sense since apparently it is a key phrase that people are searching on the exact same, that when they search for dispute letters, they are looking for credit dispute letters. So we're looking at similar competition here. Backlinks to the domain being very high, backlinks to the page, the top 2 results are very high. The other results aren't quite as high, so you may find a point of entry there. Here's one from Wiki Answers, and I believe it's how do you write a credit dispute letter. And that's all optimized on page, and also because it's from Wiki Answers, the backlinks to the domain are very high. The backlinks to the page are just 1, so you may be able to find a point of entry with that particular website if you were to put up a article on Wiki Answers. Now I'm going to show you something that I like to do in very competitive niches where I'm dealing with a lot of potential keywords like we are here. There's a lot of keywords that are coming in at 60, 70 hits a day if you were number 1 in Google, and I'd like to see those kind of compared to each other. So what I'm going to do is export all of the keywords for all of the different little searches that we have up here, and then I'm going to actually import them again into Market Samurai into one tab so that I can look at everything all at once, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm just going to each tab of keywords and clicking export and then saving it to my desktop. So what I'm going to do here then is open up the first CSV that I just exported from Market Samurai, and here's all my data for the key phrase credit dispute analysis. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and then I'm going to open the second one, and I'm going to copy these, close that particular, yes, I want this to be available on the clipboard, copy, close, yes. And then I'm coming back to the one that I just opened, and then I'm going to paste that data in, and there it is. And then I'll scroll to the bottom, open up the third one that I just saved, and I'm going to copy all of these keywords and data and paste it in here. Oh, somehow I have an extra column. I don't know how I did that. It doesn't matter though for what we're doing. And then my last one, I'm going to copy, close that out, and then paste it in here. And what I'm trying to do is to get all of these keywords together. I'm going to copy them all with a Control-C, open Market Samurai, open up a tab for a new keyword. I'm just going to call it credit because it doesn't really matter. Click on keyword research, Control V in there, and then click add keywords, and then I'm going to analyze those keywords. And now I have all the keywords that I'm working with in one tab so that I can see all of the competition and title data at once. So first I need to analyze them and get all that data in. There were about 319 keywords originally when I put them into Market Samurai. Some of them were duplicates, so it's left with 290 keywords. And then I'm going to delete a few that aren't really exactly what we're talking about, like credit reporting agencies, things that I didn't dispute when I was going, or things that I didn't delete when I was going through the keywords earlier. So I've pulled in all my data. Now I have everything on one screen, which I like to do. It makes it easier for me to kind of compare things and see where I want to go with them. And then I can look at everything and analyze it in a much easier way, for me anyway. So in looking at all of the keywords that we came out with and their competition, we've got dispute credit report is coming in at 93,000 for SEO traffic and 7,370 for SEO title competition. We've got a low PBR, so people might be saying credit report dispute as well as dispute credit report, and that's why the PBR is low there. Let's check out the grid on that. This is really ugly. Everything's from the FTC, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, which are all the actual credit reporting agencies. Not thrilled with this. Domain ages, we're looking at domains that are 12 years old in the top results. Ugly, ugly, ugly. So that's no good. I'm just going to cancel it right there because we don't need to go any further on that. And heading back in here, let's see what else we've got that has SEO competition and SEO title competition that is within our parameters. Fix credit report, that was one of the ones that we identified earlier. Fix my credit, repair credit score, clean credit report, PBR is 36%, it's lower than I like to see. Dispute letters, we looked into that. And now we're back in key phrases that have under 100 searches a day. So as it would be expected, this is a very, very, very difficult niche. And in looking at all of this data, what I would do, were I to enter this market, is look into the dispute letters area. We saw several sites, or excuse me, several keywords. Let me go back over to that tab. Credit dispute letter. Lots of keywords here that were within our competition range if we started to look under 100 searches a day. So I could go for credit repair letter, credit repair letters, debt settlement letter, disputing credit report. That's not a letter word, but these are sample dispute. These are all keywords that are related to letters, to credit report letters. There's another one. And I would build a site around having credit report letter information available, because these are a bunch of key phrases that are very closely related, that while they don't get the kind of traffic that I'm looking for individually, they do get the kind of traffic that I would look for, and even more so collectively, were I to build a site around all of them and then build links to the individual pages and rank for those. So in this particular niche, which is a very competitive niche, I would have to settle for going for something that got me a little bit less traffic individually, but as a whole would get me a lot of traffic in the end. And also in a niche like this, I think a lot of people may want to find the information for free, so I would do something like requiring an opt-in to access the information on my site. Maybe a teaser type of thing, like a WordPress membership, where people could see the beginning of something but they couldn't see the end of it, and if they gave me their email address, then they would be able to see the rest of the letter to copy and paste it and use it on their own. And then I would monetize those email addresses via selling them offers or perhaps my own product. But to enter the market, I think that you'd really need a great content site surrounding the credit dispute letter arena, and having that content on your site as opposed to just a sales page would allow you to rank for several different key phrases in Google to provide good content for people, which Google always likes to see, and then you can monetize them once they have your email address. So that's the approach that I would take on this market based on our keyword research. Thanks so much, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.